Students, this is chapter number 6, Transport in Flowering Plants. In today's lesson, we have to discuss the importance of transpiration. We will see the advantages and disadvantages of wilting. Then we have to see some tests for oxygen, carbon dioxide and water. For their presence, we need to know that what things can be done to identify the presence of oxygen, carbon dioxide and water. First, let's see the importance of transpiration. Transpiration, as I told you, is the loss of water vapors or evaporation of water from the surface of mesophyll cells. It's mostly through the aerial parts of the plant. Aerial parts means the parts which are in contact with the air, especially through stomata. So this suction force, which is called the transpiration pull, created by transpiration, is the main factor lifting water and mineral salts up the leaf of the plant from roots to the leaves. So if you can see here that the root hair cells are absorbing water and it is taken up against the gravity in the xylem vessel, going into the mesophyll cells and going out because of the diffusion gradient created out from the stomata into the external environment. So when the water is being lifted up, it is not taking the water only, it is also taking the mineral salts which is needed by different cells. If you remember, nitrate and magnesium ions were of great importance, and water, as you know, is the reactant for photosynthesis. So this suction force is creating a transpiration stream, which is the file of water molecules, the line of water molecules going up in the xylem vessel. And as the water is moving up, it's also taking the essential mineral salts to the leaves, which are necessary for different purposes, as I have discussed that in previous lecture, magnesium and nitrate's importance. Then this water evaporated from the leaves also removes the latent heat of vaporization, giving the cooling effect to the plant. It saves the plant from the scorching effect of the sun, just like sweating does to us. Sweating takes the excessive heat from our body and makes us feel cool. Same is the case with the transpiration. The evaporation of water molecules from the surfaces of plant also give cooling effect to the plant, saves them from the scorching heat of the sun. Now let's see what wilting is, what are its advantages and disadvantages. Wilting is actually caused by the excessive transpiration, which causes the turgor to be lost from the plant cell. If you remember chapter number 1, I told you that whenever the plant cell loses water, it loses its turgor pressure and leads to wilting of the plant. So what is the advantage of this wilting? If you have seen around you that whenever the plant is wilting, the surface area of the plant reduces by the curling or folding of the leaves. So whenever the leaf folds up, they are actually reducing the surface area exposed to sunlight. When the surface area exposed to sunlight is reduced, automatically the rate of transpiration would also reduce. So whenever the plant wilts, it tries to save itself by curling or folding of the leaves, thus reducing the surface area exposed to sunlight, reducing the further transpiration or further loss of water. And I also told you that whenever the turgidity of guard cell is lost, the stomata closes. So whenever the stomata closes, it will further reduce the transpiration rate. Now, what is the disadvantage of wilting? The main point is the loss of water. If you remember that water is one of the very crucial requirement for photosynthesis. It is one of the main reactant in photosynthesis. So when the plant is losing water, it is actually reducing the rate of photosynthesis. And also when the guard cells are losing their turgidity, stomata is closing. So whenever the stomata would close, it will also reduce the entry of carbon dioxide, which is another reactant of photosynthesis. Both water and carbon dioxide are actually the raw material of photosynthesis. Whenever the plant wilts, it will reduce the entry of water and will limitize the availability of water and also closes the entry of carbon dioxide into the plant, leading to reduced photosynthesis. Now let's see the test for carbon dioxide. Whenever you have to check whether carbon dioxide gas is present or not, what we can do, we can use lime water, and always remember that whenever you will pass carbon dioxide gas through the lime water, it will turn the clear lime water into milky. Here in the animation I have tried to show you that something is burning here and carbon dioxide is being produced because of this burning. This carbon dioxide will travel through this delivery tube into the other tube. This tube is containing lime water. Now lime water was clear initially, and as soon as carbon dioxide gas reached there, it turned to milky white, or milky white precipitates were formed. Now where this test would be used, you might be asked in the exams that whether the plant is respiring or not, or any human or any insect or any living being is respiring or not. You remember that respiration produces carbon dioxide. So if you have to check the presence of carbon dioxide in a way that you are checking the process of respiration, if respiration is happening or not, you can check that by checking the presence of carbon dioxide, and that can be done by using lime water. Next test is for oxygen, and its test is rekindling of glowing splinter. Whenever you will place a glowing splinter near the oxygen, it will glow, it will rekindle, it will pop up with a bright glow. Here in the animation you can see that the glowing splinter was going towards the reaction which was producing oxygen, and whenever the oxygen comes in contact with the glowing splinter, it will enhance the glowing effect, or you can say it will rekindle it. The glow will pop up again. Now the last test is for water. We have to check whether transpiration is happening or not, if it is happening more or less. This test is for that. Water turns blue cobalt chloride paper pink. This is shown here, and that the blue cobalt paper was taken. Whenever the cobalt chloride paper is in dry condition, it is blue in color. So whenever you will place water on it or water vapors are passed through it, this blue paper would turn to pink. The other test is that you can use anhydrous copper sulfate crystals. Anhydrous copper sulfate crystals are white in color as shown in the diagram. Whenever you will pour water into it, or whenever the water vapors are passed through it, these crystals will be changed to blue color. This blue form of copper sulfate crystals are called hydrous copper sulfate crystals. I'm repeating again that this water test is mostly used when you have to see that which side of the leaf is transpiring more. If you remember that the stomata, I told you that the presence of stomata or distribution of stomata is not equal, or it is not uniform throughout the leaf. So if you have to check whether the upper or lower surface is transpiring differently, you can put the cobalt chloride paper there, clip it with the pin or the paper pins, hold that together, and then you can see that which side of the leaf would give you the pink color the most quick. The most quick the color change, it means that more transpiration is happening there. The other test can be done by using anhydrous copper sulfate, which is white in color, and in the presence of water, this white color would change to blue color, leading to the formation of hydrous copper sulfate crystals.